The check has still got to come in. It's drawn out wider on the track, right the check. It'll come up towards the starting point, right the check is coming up. Stella Bijou. Mrs Mawson, right the check, Pupanga Miri, Shorquini, Coffee got him, Rashetta Miss, Equal Justice, Stella Bijou and Delta Company. Rashetta Miss the inside. Standing by for a start, waiting for the light to come on. It's on now, I think. Can't see it flashing yet, but the starter's up on the platform. Rashetta racing, out they come in a very good line. They've come away in a very good line. Rashetta Miss was the first to bounce out of the stalls. Pupanga Miri's going fast, and right the check is prominent also up on the outside when they go through the first couple of 100 metres. And settling down into stride, Rashetta Miss leads the way. It's gone up quickly. On the outside was right the check, showing good pace, and also Delta Company is up to second. They're followed by right the check third, followed by Short Queenie, Pupanga Miri. They're followed then by Stella Bijou getting through on the inside. Then Mrs Mawson, who's got back to be second last when they come up the side of the track. They're being followed well back in the field as they turn for home here by Coffee Got Him as they wheel into the straight. And down on the inside, Rashetta Miss. It's been tackled on the outside by Delta Company, and now Right the Check is coming with a big run. Here's Right the Check, followed by Mrs Mawson, sweeping on them down the outside. Right the Check and Mrs Mawson. Right the Check in front. Mrs Mawson's out after it. Right the Check, Mrs Mawson. Mrs Mawson goes home to beat Right the Check, followed by Equal Justice third, Pupanga Miri fourth, Delta Company fifth. They were followed behind them by Shaw Queenie. At the head of the others, Coffee Got Him. They were being followed further back in the field by Stella Bijou, and last of all to pull up was Rashetta Miss. Okay, stand by for the numbers here. Big run from number 1, Mrs Mawson for Kristen Smart, has got there to beat number 2, Right the Check for Mitchell Aiken, and number 7, Equal Justice was third. And we'll stand by for the fourth number. It's 1, 2 and 7 in 57.83, a very fast time. 1, 2, 7 and 3 are the numbers. Number 3, Pupanga Miri fourth. 1, 2, 7 and 3, 57.83. A big run there by Mrs Mawson's come with a big run to win, trained by Peter Clancy at Leeton. Owners Reese Maguire and Martel Maguire. It's a 5-year-old chestnut mare by Spinning World from More Money Honey, and it's come with a very well-timed run. Mrs Mawson getting out to run them down and score a good win. So a really good run. Number 1, Mrs Mawson beating 2, Right the Check. 7 finished off well, Equal Justice for Simon Miller, and fourth in 3, Pupanga Miri. Pupanga Miri battled on well. But it was a very good run by Mrs Mawson, who was quickly into stride, was always prominent, back about 5th or 6th, but she really sprinted. Right the Check really turned for home, and he sprinted away from them, Right the Check. But then Mrs Mawson started to balance up, and she's come quickly, and she's been able to grab them on the line. Mrs Mawson with a big run to win. So it's a long neck by 1.5, 1, 2, 7, 3 and 9, 57.83. Mrs Mawson for Kristen Smart, Peter Clancy. The owners are Reese and Martel Maguire. They both drove winners at the harness racing meeting at Wagga yesterday. Their father trained a double Phillip, and Martel and Reese both drove winners there yesterday. Mrs Mawson was too good. She won at Narandra Cup meeting. She's won at the Jerilderie Cup meeting. Mrs Mawson with a big run. Right the Check sprinted away on the turn. He got a couple in front, Right the Check, but then Mrs Mawson was able to balance up and come after Right the Check. And in the last few bounds, Mrs Mawson just got the better of Right the Check. So we'll stand by for all other details. It's 1, 2, 7, 3 and 9 and 57, 8, 7, 8, 3. So it's a very fast run. Last 600 in 34.23. And a very good win to Mrs. Mawson. A long neck by 1.5. 1, 2, 7 and 3. Terrific run from Mrs. Mawson. Good effort from right the check to Mitchell Aiken, riding for Adrian Corboy at Wangaratta by Written Tycoon from Hot Kingdom. Owner Mrs. C and Mrs. S.R. Bennett did a good job for second. 7 was third. It was finished it off well, Equal Justice. Raced out wide around the turn, but ran down the outside for Simon Miller to get third. And fourth in number 3, which was Pupangamiri. And number 9, Delta Company, ran in 5th placing. So we'll wait for all details to come through. Wait for the weight to come through after the running of the second event on the program. Taken out by Mrs. Mawson with a big run.